It's week 3 of London Marathon training, and today I'm going to be running the first half marathon of the training block. Now, being completely transparent, I'm not feeling that up for it today. Can't quite work out why. I had a little bit of a niggle in my leg yesterday, so I'm doing my long run on a Sunday, which I think's thrown me a little bit. I also think I'm just ready for a deload week next week. Anyway, I'm sure once I get out there, I'll feel absolutely fine. So on today's run, I'm going to talk through the structure of my long run session, my fueling strategy, and I'll give a little bit of an update around how my training is going. So let's get out there and get this done so that I can get back in the warm and have a coffee. Here we are. It actually feels quite nice to be out after all my moaning. The weather's not great, it's quite windy and I really don't like running in the wind, but there's nothing we can do about that. It's also probably really bad for audio, so sorry. I'll do my best to avoid really bad bits. So, long run. As I said in my recent video about my London Marathon training plan, my long runs are not just steady state runs, they are structured runs. So today I am doing 10 miles at a comfortable pace and then 3.1 miles at a marathon pace speed pickup. So comfortable pace, for me at the moment, probably looking about 9.5 to 10.5 minute miles. As the plan goes through, comfortable will be quicker, but for now, that's what I think it probably is for me. A pace where I'm still able to talk to you fairly comfortably. I mean, it'd be more comfortable if I hadn't chose to record this up a hill, but there we go. But not quite as slow as my easy miles. So that's what we're working on today. I'd be interested to know, how would you describe comfortable? I'm sure Runner probably has a description in their plan, but let me know in the comments, what does comfortable mean to you? And then the marathon pace pickup is between, between 8:15 and 8:35 minute miles. And to clarify, that's not what my current marathon pace would be. I could not sustain that for a marathon right now, but that would be my target pace for London. Slightly terrifying, and at the moment that pace feels really challenging, and I think it's going to feel really hard today at the end of 10 miles, but we're going to see how we go. I'm just plodding along at the moment, and then when I get to 3 miles I'll have my first bit of fuel, and then I'll chat through what my fueling strategy is for today's run. Yeah, how much carb I'm taking on, how much water, etc. So I'll see you in a couple of miles and share a bit more about that. Oh, this feels harder than comfortable. Okay, so we are 3 miles in. So I have just had my first bit of fuel. I did also have a bagel and a coffee about an hour before I set off, so started the run well fueled as well. And the run today, I'm going to be fueling with Vela Forte Chews and Science and Sport Go Gel, the caffeine berry one. I'm not completely set on these for my marathon training. I think I'm definitely going to be using the Vela Forte Chews because I get on really well with them. Again, not an advert. I buy these and I just get on really well with them because they're natural, and my tummy can react a little bit funny sometimes to some of the gels and carbs, so that's why I like those. In terms of gels, not decided yet. I like the SIS berry one because it's got the extra caffeine, but I still think it doesn't quite sit perfectly with my tummy. So throughout the next, I don't even know how long we've got left, however many weeks till London, I'm going to try out some different ones as well. So any recommendations for kind of natural gels that are a little bit gentler on the belly, let me know in the comments. Thanks. So the Vela Forte Chews are 7 grams of carbs in one of the little chews, come in lots of different flavours. I've got the lemon and cool mint today, very tasty. And then the SIS Go Gel is 22 grams of carbs and 75 milligrams of caffeine. I wouldn't always use a caffeine gel. I'd only ever use maximum 1 per run. I'd always then pick gels that have not got caffeine in. I just felt like I needed a little bit of a caffeine boost today. So I'll be having that later on in my run. Whew, this wind, I do apologise. So yeah, it will be a Veloforte chew at miles 3, 6 and 11, and the SIS gel will be between miles 8 into 9. I find with the gels, if I consume them a lot slower over a period of a mile or 2 miles, it sits better in my tummy, so that's why I take so long to take on the gels. So that will mean on my half marathon today, I'll take on, Maisie trying to do the maths, 21 grams of carbs in the form of the Veloforte chews and 22 grams of carbs from the SAS gel. So in total, that will be 43 grams of carbs in my run today. So yeah, see how it goes. I'm going to be refining the fueling strategy over the next weeks. Any top tips, let me know. In terms of hydration, I've literally just got with me today one 250ml flask, which isn't very much, and ordinarily I don't think for me it would be enough for a half marathon. However, based on the intensity of this run and the temperature, I'm not going to be losing that much water, so 250 will be okay for me. As we move into summer months, I'd bring 2 of those flasks, and to be honest, if it was a warm day, I'd plan my route so that I could stop sort of midway through to buy some water and fill them up basically. But today 250ml will be enough to keep me hydrated and just to wash down the chews and the gels a little bit, because I don't like it when they leave that weird flavour in your mouth. So yeah, that's the fueling strategy for today. Over the next few weeks I'll yeah, share any changes, and ultimately when it comes up to London I'll yeah, share what I decide on. But I think definitely going to be sticking with the chews, TBC for the gels. Right, should probably let the heart rate come down a little bit. Okay, so we are on 9.5 miles. Just had my SIS Go Gel. It's going pretty well. I think I'm nailing my comfortable pace. Fueling's gone down well. I'll add on the screen my splits, and again just a reminder of what I've consumed at what kind of mileage. I'm nervous for my speed pickup in a moment, but it is what it is. We'll see how we go and just try my best. So just before I get cracking on that speed, I said I'd give a quick update on how the training's going generally. I will keep it brief because next week, during my deload week, I'm going to do a full roundup of how it's gone and what's gone well, what hasn't, and any kind of changes or tweaks to the plan. But yeah, generally good. I've ticked off every single run session and they've all gone pretty well. Done okay with my strength training as well. I've skipped a couple here and there, but as I said in my sort of plan video, I have set a stretch goal with the strength and conditioning stuff, so managing sort of 2 a week, which is good. And the only issue that's kind of coming in, it isn't fully blown, is just this little niggle that I've got in my right leg. It's the leg that I had issues with when I trained for Chicago last year, so I think the deload week, to be honest, couldn't come at a better time. I'm also really open to skipping some runs if I need to. It's really early in the plan, so now is the time to be really sensible. If I run through pain and make it worse, that's where I'm going to mess it up. But right, it is time to pick up the speed a little bit. So I'm going to get that done, see how I get on, and I'll quickly touch base when I get home to share the verdict. Right, wish me luck. Half marathon is done. Actually feeling very pleased with how that went. The last 3 miles were brutal, but mainly because I was running into a really horrible headwind. Hit all the paces, which I was pleased about. I'll add those somewhere on the screen. Felt a lot better than last week's run. So for context, I had that same 3 mile speed pickup at the end of last week's run. However, it was 11 miles altogether. So I've run further this week and those paces just felt a little bit more comfortable, which is good. The main thing I changed was my fueling strategy, so that's a really good bit of feedback for me. The one thing I did do is I skipped that last Vela Forte chew at mile 11. Just didn't feel like I needed it, and my tummy still felt quite full and heavy from that Go gel that I had between mile 8 and 9. So week 3 is done, feeling very ready for my deload week next week. My leg actually felt all right while I was running, but I think a week of reduced volume and reduced intensity and a little bit of icing will hopefully get on top of any inflammation, and fingers crossed it won't get any worse than that. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the training plan that I'm following, you can have a look at my previous London Marathon training video, and I'm going to be sharing weekly updates, so please do subscribe, and for more regular and more informal updates, have a look at my Instagram too. Right, that's me over and out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.